Hey everybody, this is our daily astrology weather forecast for the 8th of October 2024. And we have the moon continuing through Sagittarius today. It does oppose Jupiter, and Jupiter is stationing retrograde. It's happening today, more fully tomorrow. So things related to hopes, confidence, exuberance, belief systems, ideology, what gets us out of bed in the morning. We are having a reassessment of all things Jupiter. And that puts us in a position where we can have a better understanding of what it is that we do believe in, what we find uplifting, ideas about the future, gains, all those things, optimism, and alignment with what kind of stories we tell ourselves and we tell to others around us that bring us comfort. Those stories can be in great service to our life, sometimes not so much, depends on what they are. So we're looking at a lot of those themes here. Jupiter is a retrograde over this period of time, and we're having a slowdown. If you have Jupiter in aspect to a significant planet, like I do, opposing Mars, yesterday, today, tomorrow, you can feel like the gas is being siphoned out of your tank, and it can happen fast. You can go from, feeling normal to being completely depleted and not have any idea why that is. So it's like you start out on the road and you have a full tank of gas, you ate, you slept, things are normal, but you don't realize that there's a leak, a hole in your gas tank. And so as you're a mile into the trip, you're really surprised by what is happening. So we can feel like our our systems are of fire are failing for a little while, and it happens really fast if it's an aspect to a planet that has something to do with your vitality. Because Jupiter, is large and in charge, and it's about fulfillment and exuberance and doing things to the max. And when he goes into this retrograde period, it can catch you off guard if it is something that has to do with your physical constitution more than others. So it's not even something that you can really guard against, because we're still living our best life. We're doing what we've always done, but we just have to put it on our agenda that we may be experiencing these periods where our vitality just shrinks. And we, can get up and put our clothes on, brush our teeth, get going, and be experiencing some normalcy. But if we experience something that requires any amount of effort, that's when the gas tank just goes to empty. So just watch out for it. The other thing going on is that Mercury is an excellent aspect to Jupiter. This is great. It's in a nice trine. Mercury and Jupiter trine. Mercury is opposing Chiron, however. When Mercury and Jupiter are trine, we have better arguments. We find better information. We have more of a breadth of understanding due to how we're open to information, our curiosity, that we're seeking more wisdom rather than the, let me think of the word, the validation of our ego or of our current opinions. We're not concerned with defense or with seeing ourselves in a certain way. We're concerned with learning. So our curiosity overwhelms our need to be right. The ego is just not involved when we have this trine, because we find growing out of our current opinions and is stated saying things, and the types of sources that we consult, we find that growth to be super exciting. It's not something that we resist or see that it is an enemy. to us as a person. So we lean into our curiosity, we lean into new sources of information, we lean into conversations that can be very clarifying because they're inclusive. So it's a good day to reach out and expect to have conversations that are more about understanding and really seeing where another person comes from and seeing their opinion, learning from them, learning each other rather than winning, rather than diminishing each other, certainly rather than criticizing. Criticism is not a big thing today because we also have Mercury opposing Chiron. We are not comfortable with criticism. Mercury seeks to avoid humiliation and embarrassment. This is the perfectionist planet here. When it's in a difficult aspect to Chiron, we're really avoiding being wrong and embarrassment. If we feel diminished or diminutive in some way, God, that can really rattle us with these aspects. And communication, getting our ideas across, that's where we can really feel a sting. Because we can be limited by the wounds that we have related to how we present ourselves, how smart we want people to think we are, how capable we want others to perceive us as, our effectiveness. This is tempered by this trine to Jupiter. So there is some amount of attention, focus on how we are perceived. This can give us a foothold here in regaining some confidence in the area of Mercury where we may have some wounds, some questions about ourselves, some flaws that they don't have to determine what we are. This is a lot of what we're learning. This, shh, girls, shh, the cat is in the tree. Shh, the cat is stuck in a tree. Girls, shh, sorry, my daughters have just noticed that my sister's cat is stuck in a tree, and now they're wondering where it is. So this is a period of time, a portal of time here between eclipses. And we're really, really looking at cyclical behaviors because we had that very, very important eclipse at the South Node on the 2nd. And this is about fleshing out karmic behaviors, particularly with Pluto at 29 degrees in any sign. That would be a thing. I have an ending point here. The ending of a cycle of generational karmic madness. So even these little passing aspects are contributing to that larger theme because we're looking at cycles within cycles. Now, the large cycles of the outer planets and the small cycles of the daily planets and how those really work together and reflect each other and support each other, play off of each other. So we can figure out how to have some clarifying conversations that might be painful and might expose us to some of our weak points. But we have Jupiter there, which fills our sail with wind and with confidence, with perspective. It can help us take a leap of faith and reach out and expect to hear positive things in return. It's an opposition here. We're looking at what is it that we're putting out, how is that being returned. And then we have the lovely trine between Venus and Mars. This is the star of the day. Whoopee! Ah, if we could have this one every day, we would not have any war. We would definitely be making love and not war. There's a feeling of being able to balance the passive and the aggressive sides of ourselves easily. The pros and the cons, the divine masculine and the divine feminine are in easy terms with each other, both in our internal and external worlds. So there is a sharing here. It takes the usual competition out of the battle of the sexes, the battle of the passive and aggressive forces within us and without us. And we see that, hey, it's really easy to flow together. It's really easy to dance together. It just happens, and the chemistry, it's just there. And this is something that can teach us that chemistry can be ready-made. It can be something that you can step into. It can exist, and sometimes you don't have to work for that, and that can really throw us for a loop when those kinds of situations show up, when we have perfect chemistry with an idea, with a person, with a job, with a friend, with a place. It can really make us wonder, is this a joke? And is this going to disappear? Is this a fantasy? Is this something that I really shouldn't invest in because it can't possibly be true? We can have flow. We can see that with biquintiles, trines. We can see that with certain combinations of planets in conjunction and sextile. We can have types of chemistry that is so easy and so in flow that it can be counter to parts of our belief system that says things have to be hard or should be hard, or it can go against our trust issues. So this can be a day where we can really have some epiphanies about how sometimes things can just be easy. And if we can accept that, we can trust that, and we can learn to go with the flow, oh, we get the best out of life.